Welcome to EdMask, the channel for education, learning and development. Today I'm going to talk about how education can transform communities, the power of education in development. What if I told you that a class can change the entire community? Not just a student, the family, the business, and even the future of the nation. In this video, we're talking about how education can transform communities, socially, economically, and even politically. And also, we're looking at why investing in education is the smartest development strategy any country can make. Therefore, education is equal to community transformation. EdMask, an education management and development professional, I create content to help educators, leaders, and young professionals understand how education drives real impact in our communities. When we look at education, we realize that education reduces poverty. Education is one of the strongest tools to fight poverty. Children who complete school, they gain skills that increase their chances of employment and entrepreneurship. Communities where young people are educated, income levels rise and the families become more financially. Therefore, educated individuals are more likely to start business, but also families invest more in housing and health. And when we look at education, education helps us to lead into skills, then skills into jobs, and then later on we get the income. Also look at education improves health and well-being. Education doesn't only change wallets, as in having money in your pockets. It changes health outcomes. Educated mothers are more likely to seek medical care for their children. And also communities with higher education levels often have lower disease rate and better sanitation practices. And therefore, we look at Uganda and in an African context, we realize that education increases awareness about hygiene, nutrition, and also disease prevention. In this sense, we realize that knowledge saves lives. Another thing I also want to look at is that education empowers women and girls. One will ask me how. When girls are educated, communities transform, but also educated women marry, earn income, and invest more in their children's education. They carry a powerful cycle. One girl can transform generations. And therefore, one thing we note of the educated women as a whole is that if you educate a girl, you educate a nation. Therefore, educate a girl, empower generations. I'm also looking at education reduce crime and social conflict. Communities with access to education often experience lower crime rate. Why? Because education provides alternatives like employment, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. And therefore, schools teach values like respect, responsibility, and also cooperation. Education also reduces idleness. In a nutshell, we note that education builds responsible citizens. Education also underscores leadership and innovation. In other words, education builds leadership and innovation. Doctors, engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, and community leaders started in a class. Education produces the leaders who solve community problems. And when you link education to development, you realize that education supports innovation in agriculture, technology, and small businesses. Also, our communities become self-reliant. Therefore, classrooms create leaders. In our local context, this is where you shine as Ugandan experts or any other country expert. In Uganda and Africa, investing in quality education is one of the most powerful ways to achieve sustainable development. When communities prioritize education through supporting schools, teachers, and learners, the long-term impact is extraordinary. Therefore, one of the things that we can mention about that is that rural education challenges are catered for. When communities prioritize education through supporting schools, teachers, and learners, the long-term impact is extraordinary. Here we can mention rural education challenges, importance of teacher leadership, but also role of NGOs in government. As I sum up, I realize that education is more than passing exams. It is about building strong families, healthier communities, but also sustainable communities. If we truly want transformation in our communities, education must be a center. And therefore, say that change a class, change a community. If you believe education can transform communities, like this video, share it with another educator or leader. Subscribe for more content on education, leadership, and development. And in the comment, tell me what is one of the changes you would like to see in education in your community. As I conclude, education is one of the powerful tools for community transformation. In this video, I've explored how education reduces poverty, improve health, empower women, but also reduce crime and build leadership. If you're a teacher, education leader, any job professional, student passionate about development in Uganda or Africa, the video is for you. Subscribe for weekly insights for education management, leadership, and community development. And out.